Neil Tyreman is in, and Neil is the Vice President of the Edmonton Reptile and Amphibian Society, and they have, is it 2 shows every year you have, Neil?
2 shows, yeah, okay. Spring and fall.
All right, so obviously the spring show at the Sands Hotel, and it's this weekend, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Anytime I've done this in the past, it's been with Kelly Jensen over the phone. But you brought some critters in this morning with you, Neil.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us here.
Well, thank you. No, and thanks for bringing them in. And by the way, we're taping this so people can see it at 630ched.com later on today. What exactly have you brought in with you, Neil?
I brought a little bit of everything. I brought a piebald ball python. I brought a tailless whiptail scorpion.
Oh, is that the scorpion there?
That's the scorpion there, okay. Yes. I brought a Chilean rosehair tarantula. And I brought a Russian tortoise, and then finally a emperor scorpion.
Are these all yours, Neil?
These are all pets in my house, yes.
Really? Wow. Wow. The whiptail, you called it, the
tailless whiptail.
Tailless whiptail. Oh,
yeah, there are species that have a tail. This is
okay.
a particular family that doesn't have tails.
Okay, so there's not a chance of getting stung there, I guess.
No, these are totally harmless animals.
Oh,
no
really?
venom.
Okay.
Claws are too small to pinch, and so they're harmless entirely.
Is a ball python?
Ball python,
okay.
Yes.
And how big will your python get?
This one will get up to 4.5 to 5 feet maximum.
Oh, there it is. Wow. Wow.
So this is a small species. They're very docile as well. A very good beginner pet for people to start with.
Okay. Just so many things come to my mind as I see all this, Neil. Where exactly do you go to buy these pets?
I mean, a lot of these actually came from people who are going to be vending at our show this weekend.
Okay.
But I've brought in animals from Ontario and from the States.
Okay.
Just depending on what's available. In the past, there wasn't as much locally available as there is now. Now there's a great selection for pretty much anything people want.
I have to say this, Neil, I mean, it's really good to meet you in person, and I don't know if people have stereotypes they think of folks who own snakes, but you're not covered in tattoos.
No, I'm not, and we do have members who have tattoos, and there is that stereotype, of course.
Yeah,
the Harley-Davidson biker dudes.
Yeah, sure.
But, I work at the university. There's lots of people who are veterinary technicians. It's a very wide range of people who have reptiles.
What is your fascination with amphibians and reptiles as opposed to furry creatures?
I like all creatures, honestly. Okay. I do have allergies, so this allows me to have animals in the house that I'm not going to be sneezing at or itching my nose and stuff like that. So,
okay.
Some it's just the uniqueness of the animal, and there is some of it. Look at my big snake type of thing. Yeah, there is certainly that out there, but a lot of it is just the uniqueness of the animals.
Another odd question: do they show affection?
Some more than others. Certain lizards appear to be very communicative with their owners. Show, I don't know, affection might be a strong word.
Yeah.
Snakes, I don't believe so. Some people do. I don't. But certainly the insects don't. Or the arachnids don't. But
recognition might have been a better.
Yeah, bearded dragons seem to be very reactive to their owners. So.
Okay. Your python has interesting coloring. It's kind of like what you would expect python coloring, but a lot of white on it.
Yeah, this is actually called a piebald python. It's similar genetics to, you can get like piebald horses, which are pintos.
His head just shot out.
There's piebald squirrels and magpies and things like that. Basically, it's a recessive genetics. Both parents have to carry the gene for the babies to look like this.
Okay, fascinating creatures. What's the name of your python, by the way?
This one is Sharpie.
Sharpie, okay, all right.
Because of the black spots that are on it. When it was a baby, they looked like someone literally just colored a scale with a black Sharpie, so that's what my kids named it.
Oh, I see. Okay, well that makes sense then. So many questions. When you go on vacation, can they kind of look after themselves? Do you have someone you leave them with? Or?
Certain animals we do, like the tortoises do have to be fed every day, so we do leave those with a friend of ours. The snakes can, as long as they have water, they only get fed 1 to 2 weeks anyways.
Okay.
So they're fine. We just tend to take shorter vacations.
Yeah.
So we take lots of little ones, basically. Is what we normally do. So.
I like if you fly, sometimes you can get a certificate from the vet. You can take your dog on the plane if it's a small one. Can you do that with?
I've never tried. I don't think they'd let it, honestly.
Yeah, probably not.
They do go in cargo when they fly. Like when we get stuff shipped in, they come in through the cargo.
Okay.
So.
You'd have to be very, I guess, careful about temperatures and that type of thing too, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the airlines won't even bother shipping in the wintertime now because the risk is too high.
Sure.
If they happen to, it's been cases, even in the summertime when it's too hot, they stop. Because if they get left out in the sun, heat is actually worse. Too much heat is worse than too much cold for a reptile.
Well, that makes sense. All right. So again, it's this weekend, and it's the Sands Hotel.
Yes.
And you can ask all these questions yourself in person. And
Yes.
that's awesome. What are the times?
Saturday it's 10 to 5.
Okay.
Sunday it's 11 to 4. And we have about 66 tables of people displaying and selling animals.
All right. Well, it's been a great visit. I had this vision of you bringing in something that was like 10 feet tall. It was going to crush my ribs.
No, we thought, I wasn't sure how visual that would be. I don't like to scare people the first time. So.
Neil, thanks so much.
Thank you.